Welcome to the Dragon's Den. My name is Leo Drake and thank you for spending part of your day with me. Please consider subscribing as it is free and there may be more than meets the eye to this channel. If you enjoy the video, click the like button and ring the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. In this list, we are reviewing movies that span almost 4 decades and have grossed over $5 billion at the box office. More than meets the eye, Transformers Robots in Disguise. Funded by Hasbro and a rich memorabilia market, Transformers is a franchise that looks to be hanging around for many years to come. But which movies are prime and which movies are not? Buckle in for a complete rundown of every Transformers film in search of the best one. There are 9 movies in this list, so let's get to it. At number 9, and my least favourite Transformers movie, is Transformers The Last Knight from 2017, which is directed by Michael Bay and comes in at just over 2.5 hours. Optimus Prime has left Earth to find his creators, leaving behind a chaotic and tense battle between the human TRF and remaining Transformers. Marky Mark Wahlberg and Bumblebee save children in a restricted area, including a teenage girl named Isabella, who fixes and befriends fugitive Transformers. Mark Wahlberg's character Cade is given a talisman by an ancient Transformer and escapes to a scrapyard where he is hiding from the authorities with his Dinobots. Optimus Prime travels through space and meets his creator, Quintessa, who wants an ancient staff left on Earth. The staff was used by Merlin to help King Arthur's knights in the Dark Ages. Quintessa's influence over Optimus Prime makes him do her bidding and return to Earth to collect the star. Megatron resurfaces, drawn by the discovery of the talisman. The first 45 minutes of this film are fairly standard Transformers that we've come to expect from Michael Bay, and I was having a pretty good time watching it. Unfortunately, the middle of this movie, for about an hour, continues to get worse and worse. Anthony Hopkins is a national treasure and a fantastic actor, but he delivers a nonsensical and terrible performance in this movie. Saying the word bitchin' must have been a career low point. In previous movies, the script has attempted to rewrite history to include secret Transformer interactions, such as the moon landing or the extinction of the dinosaurs. However, this movie tries to make every historic moment in human evolution tied to Transformers. Where the movie really lost me was when it claimed Earth was Unicron. That makes absolutely no sense. The TRF make a deal with Megatron to free Decepticons. Are these people stupid? We got Hot Chick number 4, who is British and the last heir of Merlin or something. By this point, I really miss Megan Fox. They bring back John Turturro, who started annoying me from the second movie onwards, and just as you think this movie cannot sink any lower, Cade and Vivian get into a submarine to search for the lost tomb where the staff is hidden. The big mistake this movie makes is removing Optimus Prime for such long periods, and that won't be the last time I say that. The end of this movie is alright because it is the normal big battle with giant robots fighting each other. Cade and Vivian try to retrieve the staff, shadowed by a SEAL team. Evil Optimus Prime arrives, but Quintessa's influence is broken when Bumblebee speaks. Megatron, who doesn't really do much in this movie, takes the staff, and Cade saves Optimus Prime using the talisman. Optimus Prime leads an assault to Cybertron to defeat Quintessa. Megatron delivers the staff to Quintessa at Stonehenge. There is a big battle where Optimus Prime kicks Megatron from the alien ship and we don't see him anymore. Optimus distracts Quintessa and Bumblebee shoots her. Cade and Vivian retrieve the staff with Optimus Prime's help. Like most Michael Bay Transformer movies, this film does have some good action, but it lacks humour, character development and balance. The reason this film sits at the bottom of my list is the terrible script. I honestly believe this movie would be improved by cutting out the middle hour and being a 90-minute action film.
Okay, that is the dumbest idea you could possibly have.
The next two movies on my list are pretty neck and neck, but at number 8 is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen from 2009. This movie marks for me the start of a decline in the franchise, and considering it is only the second film, that's not great. A military outfit called Nest is working with Autobots to hunt down the remaining Decepticons. The movie has great effects and a big epic spectacle, but the humour, as usual, is terrible. A sliver of the cube was left on Sam's clothes, played by Shia LaBeouf from the first movie. Sam is going to college, while Michaela, played by Megan Fox, is working at a garage with her dad. They are planning to have a long-distance relationship, and we can guess how that's going to work out. Sam has all the alien information inside his head, and the Decepticons kidnap him to retrieve it. The best scene in this movie is weirdly close to the middle, where there is a large battle in woodland and Optimus Prime falls. After that high point, the movie stalls badly as the remaining characters seek to find a way to bring Optimus Prime back so he can save the day. At 2 hours 29 minutes, this movie is at least half an hour too long, perhaps because of all the slow motion shots. In Egypt, Sam revives Optimus Prime, who fights Megatron and defeats the Fallen, who plan to destroy the sun with a weapon hidden inside the pyramid, or something like that. There was a chance to learn from mistakes made in this movie and put it right, but instead they repeated those mistakes over and over. When you keep rewriting history, you're doomed to repeat it. At number 7, we have Transformers Rise of the Beasts from 2023. This movie is just over 2 hours long and is directed by Stephen Caple Jr. There is almost nothing between this movie and Revenge of the Fallen. The reason I rank it slightly higher is because it is shorter and more grounded. I also did like the Maximals. I do think this movie suffers from Transformers fatigue, or perhaps that was just me after watching all of these movies. Unicron is searching for the Trans-Warp Key. Scourge is his most powerful disciple. We see him kill a gorilla, but the surviving Maximals escape on a ship and hide on Earth. This film is set in 1994, and I'm going to come back to that later. Noah Diaz lives in the hood, a former soldier who is good with electronics, along with his hard-working mum and younger brother who is sick, and the family cannot afford healthcare. Elena Wallace is an intern at a museum on Ellis Island, where she comes across a rare statue. Diaz goes for a job interview to help him pay for his brother's treatment. After the meeting goes badly, he turns to crime and agrees to steal a car. The car turns out to be Mirage, and when Elena accidentally triggers the key hidden inside the statue, a signal is released, causing the Autobots to assemble. Optimus Prime is unhappy with being trapped on Earth for so long and has become distrustful of humanity. Despite this, it is agreed that Noah will steal the key for cash. The plan goes sideways and Scourge, along with his Terracons, fight the Autobots. Scourge defeats Optimus Prime and kills Bumblebee, taking the key before an eagle arrives and breathes fire. Air Razor is a Maximal and explains the key was broken in half. Elena tracks the second piece to Peru, where a local festival gives them an opportunity to sneak in undiscovered. Of course, the bad guys show up to spoil the plan, and Optimus Prime fights Scourge. More Maximals turn up to save the day. Optimus Prime wants to return home to save Bumblebee, and the transwarp key is the only way he can do that. Noah plans to destroy the key to protect humanity, and he should absolutely have done this halfway through the movie, but of course he doesn't. The Maximals have remained hidden with the key in partnership with a human tribe. Scourge infects Air Razor, who steals Elena and the key. Optimus Prime fights Air Razor, who is too far gone, and dies. Optimus Prime agrees to work together with the Maximals and humans to defeat the enemy. When Mirage is damaged, Noah transforms using the robot as armour. We also get RC-8, who might have been in all the other movies, but I don't remember her being in most of them. As Unicron draws nearer, Energon is released into Earth's atmosphere and revives Bumblebee. At least I think that is the explanation. Elena has to type a code into the supercomputer to stop Unicron while the others fight Scourge and the Terracons. When the panel is destroyed, Optimus Prime kills Scourge, Noah rescues Elena, and Optimus Prime finally decides to destroy the key. Noah and Optimus Primal save Optimus, and Unicron is trapped though not destroyed. The runtime is fine, but I do have a few issues with the end of this film. Firstly, the movie is set in 1994, but there are very few references throughout the film to this time period, so you can easily forget this movie is supposed to be a prequel. Secondly, it is stated that if Unicron enters orbit, it will be too late to stop it. Unicron gets way closer than that, and apparently it's fine. While the movie tries to do a few subtly different things, it all feels very familiar and just does not stand out enough after so many other Transformer films. Number 6 is Transformers Age of Extinction from 2014. This movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes. 5 years on from the Battle of Chicago, Texan Cade Yeager, played by Marky Mark Wahlberg, the broke inventor, lives on a ranch with his daughter, who I'm going to call Hot Girl number 3, who's actually called Tessa. Cade buys a truck with his friend employee and takes it home to fix up. A human Black Ops team is destroying Autobots and Decepticons alike, helped by an alien asset called Lockdown. The ranch is destroyed by the government, and Tessa's boyfriend is a rally driver who helps them flee as the old truck turns out to be Optimus Prime. A large corporation called KSI is working on alien technology. What could possibly go wrong? Megatron has been feeding the company information so they can build him a body and an army. He becomes Galvatron and wants the seed to create precious metal to build more Decepticons. The movie explains dinosaurs were wiped out by Transformers, but it takes 2 hours before we get any Dinobots. The movie is again at least 30 minutes too long, although when the Dinobots do arrive, they are pretty cool. There is a big battle for the seed, and Lockdown is defeated. I think if Megatron is not going to be the main villain, he should be omitted from the film, so when he returns, it feels like a bigger moment and a bigger threat, because here he is kind of an afterthought. The movie has obvious product placement, slow motion, and large set-piece action scenes with little story. Yep, it's another Transformers film. Coming in at number 5 and hitting the middle of our list is Transformers Dark of the Moon from 2011, and the movie comes in at 2 hours and 34 minutes. During the war for Cybertron, a ship called the Ark was lost carrying precious cargo and crashed on the moon, sparking the space race between the Soviet Union and the US of A. The Ark carried Optimus's predecessor and technology that would have won the war for Cybertron. Autobots retrieve the remnants from the Ark, and the wounded Megatron gathers his Decepticons. Megan Fox is replaced by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. Carly's boss is an obvious creep, and Sentinel Prime is reactivated along with the 5 pillars. The movie is still about 30 minutes too long. I don't feel like Rosie Huntington-Whiteley adds anything meaningful, but I do think the script holds up slightly better than some of the other films we've mentioned. Sentinel Prime betrays them and takes the remaining pillars to open a space bridge, allowing the Decepticons to attack Earth. Humans exile Autobots to make a deal with the Decepticons. The rocket taking the Autobots into space blows up, and the Decepticons' plans to take over Earth seem to go ahead until Optimus Prime and the Autobots return to help Earth. Megatron ends up turning on Sentinel Prime, which allows Optimus the opportunity to destroy Sentinel and defeat Megatron. Number 4 is Transformers the movie from 1986, which is the shortest film at 1 hour and 24 minutes. I found this the hardest film to rank like for like, but this is how I remember Transformers from when I was a kid. The movie starts with a Star Wars-like opening crawl explaining the current situation. It also has 80s music, which I approve of. Decepticons control Cybertron while the Autobots build resistance on the planet's moons. There is a fight for Autobot City. The defense is led by Optimus Prime, who dies. Megatron is cast out into space by the Constructicons and Decepticons, who argue over who should be the new leader. Unicron summons Megatron to destroy the Matrix and grants him increased powers as Galvatron. Unicron destroys Moonbase 1, but the Autobots manage to rescue the remaining Dinobots and a boy called Daniel who wears robot armor. Galvatron steals the Matrix and tries to turn on Unicron. Divided, the enemy threats are defeated. Let that be a lesson to you. This film takes me back to my childhood when cartoons were great. What have they got now? Bluey? And what's a cocoa melon? Voiceover from Orson Welles, Leonard Nimoy, and the voice of Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen. This film also proves that you can have a good Transformers movie in less than 90 minutes. The top 3 films on this list are some way ahead, and number 3 is Transformers from 2007, directed by Michael Bay. This film was better than I expected, providing a huge big screen spectacle, great effects, and the over-the-top quintessential Michael Bay tropes, all in glorious slow motion. Sam Witwicky buys his first car in the hopes of impressing Michaela. He drives her home after she has a fight with her jock boyfriend. Sam's ancestor headed an exhibition to the Arctic Circle where he made a big discovery before being committed to an asylum. Sam's car turns into Bumblebee, who protects him from harm on the orders of Optimus Prime. Sam's ancestor discovered Megatron frozen in the ice, and he has been transported to Sector 7, a secret government agency. Megatron is freed by Decepticons, and there is a great battle. Optimus Prime defeats Megatron, and Sam places the cube in his chest. The movie is probably 10 to 15 minutes too long, but the special effects and new generation of Transformers make this a surprisingly good film, reaching number 3 on this list. Does Transformers have the most MacGuffins? The Cube, Matrix, Staff, Transwarp Key? There are just so many. At number 2 is Transformers 1 from 2024, directed by Josh Cooley. If you want an introduction to Transformers or a reminder of how it all started for the franchise, then this animated film is a great way to do it. Primus transforms into the planet Cybertron and creates the Primes. Energon flows powering the planet. A war with the Quintessons, a bizarre and ancient race, sees the Primes fall and the Transformers forced to live underground. 50 cycles after the Quintesson War ends, the search for the Matrix continues. Orion Pax and D16 are miners and friends. The majority of their species has lost the ability to transform, and they have to mine for the precious energon, which has become harder to find. During a cave-in, Orion Pax goes off protocol and saves a fellow miner called Jazz. This mistake cost Alita her job, and she is sent to work in waste management by Darkwing. Orion Pax and D16 enter Iacon 5000 race, which is normally reserved for those who can still transform. Despite not winning, the duo meet Sentinel Prime, their leader and hero. Darkwing sends the pair to level 50, where B125 works the conveyor belt. They find a hidden message about the whereabouts of the Matrix of Leadership. D16 wants to follow protocol. He believes in Sentinel Prime, and his favourite is Megatronus Prime, the greatest of all primes. D16 is led astray by the hopeful Orion Pax, who leads B127 and D16 to a train heading for the surface. On the way, they run into Alita, who is dragged along on their adventure. In a cave, they discover the fallen primes. Lawrence Fishburne voices Alpha Trion, who explains that Sentinel Prime betrayed them to seek an agreement with the Quintessons. He has removed the robot's ability to transform to keep them submissive and under his control. Alpha Trion returns the cog which allows adventurers to transform and fight Sentinel's forces. D16 takes the news of Sentinel Prime's betrayal badly, and when the group is captured by the High Guard, D16 fights their leader for power. D16 and B127, along with half the High Guard, are captured by Arachnid, who works for Sentinel Prime, who reveals he stole Megatronus Prime's power cell after betraying the Primes. D16 refuses to bow to the Primes. Orion Pax reveals Sentinel Prime's betrayal to the miners and organises a rebellion, while Alita and the remaining High Guard attack Sentinel Prime's forces.
We are here. We are waiting.
Orion Pax sacrifices himself to stop D16 killing Sentinel Prime. D16 wants to take over, but Orion Pax is given the Matrix of Leadership by Primus. Optimus Prime defeats and banishes D16 after he kills Sentinel Prime and takes Megatronus Prime's power cell. Megatron and High Guard retreat into space. With the Matrix returned, Energon flows again, giving the cogs their powers back. This movie gives a great introduction into Transformers lore for any new or old fan. The motivation for Megatron is clear and believable, while also establishing Optimus Prime's legacy and leadership. Perhaps the movie did not do great at the box office, but I think that was more about what had come before and how the movie was marketed. If you have not seen the film yet, I definitely recommend it. Coming in at number 1 is Bumblebee from 2018, which comes in at just under 2 hours and is directed by Travis Knight. The introduction shows the form of Cybertron. Optimus Prime sends B-127 to Earth to protect it, while he gathers the remaining Autobots before joining him. Set in 1987 in San Francisco, B-127 crashes to Earth in an American forest where John Cena's squad is training. B-127 flees towards an old mine. B-127 sues for peace before a Decepticon fighter plane arrives. In the ensuing conflict, B-127's voice box is damaged along with his memory. He transforms into a VW Beetle, and we get a good action sequence to start the film. Charlie Watson is played by Haley Steinfeld. Charlie is a former diver who now likes fixing cars following the death of her father. She works at a fast food place at the local fair trying to save money to buy car parts in order to fix an old Corvette her dad was working on.
Are you still working on that damn car?
You still working on that damn personality?
This movie embraces the 80s with great music and settings from the time period. Charlie really wants a car and fixes up an old yellow VW Beetle with a faulty radio, which sends a signal intercepted by the Decepticons who track B-127 to Earth. It is Charlie's birthday, and while her mum and brother seem to have moved on with a new guy called Ron, Charlie is still grieving for her father. Taking the VW Beetle home, Charlie is surprised to find it transforming into an alien robot, who she names Bumblebee. Decepticons arrive on Earth and are tracked by Agent Burns, played by John Cena. The army makes an alliance to help the robots locate the fugitive, despite Agent Burns' warning. Charlie is befriended by a neighbour called Memo, and the pair come across a party where the local jock, Trip, dives off a rock into the sea and wants Charlie to follow him, but she can't. Trip's girlfriend, Tina, embarrasses Charlie, so she seeks revenge by egging and TPing Tina's house when Bumblebee gets a bit overzealous. There is a car chase, followed by Bumblebee wrecking Charlie's house in a sweet iron giant kind of way. Bumblebee plugs himself into the grid and is located by the Decepticons.
God, I'm so screwed.
Memo and Charlie drive B but are cornered by Agent Burns.
No, don't run! Do not run! She ran.
Decepticons and the army capture Bumblebee, who is tortured. Charlie and Memo sneak out and try to rescue B from a local military base. The Decepticons plan to destroy Earth so that Autobots cannot seek refuge there. B is offline, but Charlie jumpstarts him. B goes to stop Decepticons sending message for reinforcements. Agent Burns' helicopter is shot down and he is saved by B. Charlie cuts the power and Agent Burns lets them go. I guess no one is 100% a dick. Bumblebee sacrifices himself and falls into the water, and Charlie dives in after him. Earth is saved and Charlie feels like she can finally move on with her life. This movie is funny, not too long, has cultural references for the time period, good action scenes that support the narrative rather than the other way around, and likeable characters who are funny, making it my number 1 Transformers movie. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my list in the comments below and what franchise you would like me to rank next. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like and share it. I'm looking to post a new video every Monday, so be sure to come back for that and click the link on screen to watch another of my videos. Until next time, hoorah!